Atlanta, so Bleach, so Resident's newest SSR, of course, is going to be Toshiro. He is releasing in pretty much less than 5 days' time at this point. And if you are someone that is wanting to summon for this character, now is a great time to prepare. So when the character does release, and assuming you can guarantee him in, of course, 80 summons, you can be best prepared to instantly max out the character and have the potential best team possible, but also what you might want to consider if you are potentially summoning for the upcoming Ssr Aizen, who, of course, was also announced earlier today. So first up, one of the best ways to prepare for Toshiro right now is to currently invest into the Ssr Rukia. We already spoke about it a lot. We even made an individual video about this character because she is a really damn good SR and a character that I'm currently using in my team right now with SSR Banka Ichigo for the sole purpose of having the team boost effects, where she provides 15% more damage for being in the team. And then also her ultimate technique and battlefield skill, constant ways to freeze, support the team with heals, and also damage reduction is a very powerful combination to have. And of course, with that, one of the special parts about Toshiro is that he is going to be our first SSR spirit type character. So naturally, a character like Rukia is going to fit into that team very comfortably so, as a sub DPS spirit type unit, the only of its kind right now for the time being, while also being an additional character that can inflict freeze, which is what Toshiro is all about. So with that in mind, if you are trying to build a spirit type team, maybe it's better right now to get Rukia to a max level and upgrade his skills as much as you can before Toshiro does release, so you don't have to try and work on 2 spirit type characters all in one day. And of course, when it comes to building Rukia, you do want to go with her classic weapon stamp and also core stamp, as it does increase the duration of her ultimate freeze and also general damage as well when it comes to technique, ultimate, and also battlefield skills. Now, we'll talk about the stamp set in a few minutes, but this is also going to be important as well. Now, one thing that you will be doing a lot in Bleach Residence as you are waiting for the next set of characters, especially once you do reach endgame and there, isn't really much to do until you wait for the next patch, the new events. Getting an excess amount of resources when it comes to spirit type characters is definitely something that I'm already investing in, just so again, when Toshiro does release, I can instantly max him out, at least to the max level that I can personally do on my account when Toshiro does release. So right now, for example, I do have 34 of the blue Art of Spirit and also currently 97 of the Art of Spirit green rarity. So over the last few days, and probably for the next couple of so days too, I will be investing into these quests, just making sure I have enough resources to max out all my blue characters when it comes to their skill level, and also of course their ascension material, which right now I've actually around 29. That's a pretty decent amount for the time being. It's at least enough for what I can get to on my account, and that's already after maxing out Rukia as well. So this, for the most part, should have been covered for Toshiro when he does release. But don't forget, because having said that, I might be in that category. Don't forget to do some of these quests to evolve the character's weapon to at least level 60, and eventually, by that point, if you are level 50, start doing these ones too, so you can get upwards to level 70. At least for me, I always do forget about doing these, so let's actually just do a few quick runs. Again, fortunately for us, you can just do raid. So with that pretty much has my Toshiro and also Rukia's levels covered. Not everyone is going to have a lot of extra stamina like I do, for example. If you do, you could just wait and save it for the day Toshiro does release. But using your natural stamina right now isn't a bad idea if you are wondering what to spend stamina on. Any blue items, spirit type items, are going to be good in preparation for Toshiro. Now, of course, with that, also stacking up on some full assault Omamori is going to be good. Toshiro is a full assault unit, so you definitely want to do that. And then when you have come to enough resources to max out both Rukia and also Toshiro, you then want to come to Realm of Mutation and start doing the Poison Crucible quest. This one does offer 2 particular stamp sets, which one is focused on spirit type characters, increasing their damage output by 11%. And then for the free piece, you can increase the ultimate damage by 30%, and each time a technique is used, increase the basic attack damage by 36% for 8 seconds, which is unstackable. So that should be the go-to build for Toshiro, and it makes sense. Toshiro's all about using his basic attack, so I can see why you would want to use this, but it's also the only one, to my knowledge right now, that does buff spirit type characters. So getting some good stamp sets for him before he does release is going to be a good idea. And I think the best part about this one too is that it is paired with another really good set, the Blooming Sakura set. If you are trying to also at the same time work on Rukia or potentially Byakuya, this is a good set for those characters. Any sub-DPS units, tactical units, for example, can definitely take advantage of this, as it does increase their ultimate charge rate by 22%. and also increases their battlefield skill damage by 30%, and every time a battlefield skill is used, increases their basic attack for 15 seconds. And that right now is pretty much the main set that Rukia wants to use too. So all in one quest, you'll get both characters' recommended stamp set for both Toshiro and also Rukia. However, there's also one thing we need to keep in mind with the announcement of Aizen that did happen today. So Aizen is confirmed to be coming and very likely to be releasing sometime soon. So characters do release on a 2-week schedule. If Toshiro is releasing December 5th, Gin is likely to follow through 2 weeks later, and then 2 weeks after Gin, we are most likely getting Aizen. So for those that are wondering when Aizen is releasing, he is likely to drop January 2nd. But that's not all. At least based on the data mine or leak that we did get, Aizen right now seems to be a spirit type tactical unit. Now, there is always a chance, just to preface, that might not potentially come true, but right now that's what it is looking like. So if you are someone that wants to summon for Aizen and potentially make the best team, you very well might want to summon for Toshiro to have that full assault unit and then have Aizen as the sub DPS character. Because from the looks of it, they are going to want to be used in the same team, and truth be told, that probably makes sense. At least as of right now, every team does have access to an SSR tactical unit that does provide 30% more damage for their entire team, whether that's frost type damage, strike type damage, or slash type damage. And Rukia for the time being is a really good SR that I recommend investing into regardless of, whether you want to pull for Toshiro or not. I personally did. But Rukia is also the main character you are going to use with Toshiro for potentially about a month until, again, Aizen does release. Because if Aizen is the SR alternative, you're definitely going to replace Rukia for Aizen instead, as he, of course, will provide more damage for the team, but also just be a better character given his SSR status. But also, if Aizen is going to be a tactical unit, chances are once more he is also going to use a very similar stamp set. In this case, most likely this one, right? This is what most of the tactical units do want to use. I guess there is the chance in the future they could release a new set with new characters. I know a lot of, Hoyoverse games, Wither and Waves do that too. Until Soul Resonance does it, right now, farming this in advance of both Aizen as well doesn't seem like a bad idea. So if you are farming this particular quest, not only are you getting the stamp set for Toshiro, you're also building Rukia, which can eventually then be transferred into Aizen once he does release. I would recommend, if possible though, try and get to this particular one before you start farming. The 3rd difficulty more so, because that then does let you get, the 5-star stamp sets. Personally, for me, I didn't spend too much stamina in this game mode, besides, of course, doing the 2 free daily runs every single day, which, as always, I do recommend doing. But once I did get access to this 3rd difficulty, where you can then get 5-star stamps, I then started to play it significantly more. So with that said, let's actually jump into the quest, clear it as fast as we can, not like we are based on playtime here. Let me turn off auto, and let's see what we are potentially looking out for when it comes to the stamp sets in terms of what you want for the additional roles, the basic roles and also the advanced ones. The thing with this game mode, of course, with the stamp sets as well, they are very RNG heavy. You aren't guaranteed a good one, even if you get the piece you want. But there's definitely some stats you want to look out for, and hopefully in these few attempts that we are going to do, we actually can get a good piece, because I, again, want to build my character best I can. For the time being, having a decent set, one that just maybe gives one good stat is never a bad idea, just to have something with your character. Because right now, that's what I have with Ichigo. He has level 20 to 25 stamp set. They're decent, they're not the best by any means, but they're good enough for me to do what I want to do until I can continuously play these quests and get better roles, for example. So in this case, we did get one for the Blooming Sakura set. So this is likely, again, going to be for Rukia or in the future Aizen. Ideally, what you want to look out for most characters, to be fair, is crit damage, crit rate, attack percentage, and also ultimate charge rate. Ultimate damage bonus for some characters isn't really that bad. Like this right now, for the time being, isn't the worst set if I just want to put something onto the character. But the basic stats aren't really that good, only being defense and attack. Again, that part is also RNG too. You could get attack percentage. That would be really good. And from what I've seen, although it seems very rare, you can get slash type bonuses. You can get frost type bonuses. So if you do get one that gives you spirit type damage bonus, that's also going to be really good for your characters. So this is pretty much something that I will be doing over the next couple or so days when it comes to spending my stamina. Mostly because I know currently I do have enough to summon and pity Toshiro. And best believe I'm getting Aizen. I'm getting him regardless of the team that he is on. But if the leaks are potentially right and he is a tactical spirit type unit, which to be fair does make sense, is what the game needs right now. They don't have access to one of those. That is going to be really good. for just a very powerful team, Aizen and Toshiro. I'm excited for it, you know? It's a duo I never thought I'd be using in the same team, but again, I'm here for it. Because Gin, from the looks of it, the next character after Toshiro is going to be a Frost-type unit. And I guess as we get closer to Gin's release, I'll start working on my Frost-type team. But my main focus right now, since I can do 2-in-1 Aizen and Toshiro, is to focus on Spirit typing. So we did get 2 SSRs there. Same piece. Let's see if we got something good. So we got crit damage, crit rate. It's not bad, but again, defense and HP, we want to focus on damage output. This one is actually pretty solid. Maybe decent at best. We did get crit rate though. That's actually really good for a basic stat. So at max level, that can go up to around 60%. And then with that, we also rolled another crit rate increase and also crit damage. If I was to level this up, and every time you level it up or enhance it, you know, one at random, one advanced stat will be increased. And if I could roll crit damage and crit rate, that could actually be a semi-decent piece for the time being until I can get a super lucky roll. I mean, the idea with gear farming any game is that you are going to spend a lot of stamina. It's going to take a lot of retrying until you get that one really good piece. But every now and then, it will happen. At least thus far, to be fair. You don't need to min-max every little thing. Again, right now, my Ichigo's damage output is actually fairly solid. Of course, the better the piece, the better overall your damage output will be, and that can actually affect your rankings. But it's honestly fine if you don't have, like, the most optimal pieces. But it's nice to have just to make your favorite characters and go-to characters a lot better, you know? Let's actually make sure we buff with Yacho. I don't think I've been doing that. Mainly just since it is an easy quest, I've been using just Ichigo. There we go. Let's activate our Visor's Mask. And then end the quest, and this will be our final run for the day. And see if we can get another good piece. Hopefully we can get 2 golden ones here. Let's find out. We do get 2. We love to see it. We love to see those 2 gold pieces. But which set is it for? Ultimately doesn't matter, but as long as the piece itself is good. So we got another Spirit type one. In this case, we got crit rate, Frost type, and also this actually doesn't seem too bad for a character. There's actually a decent piece here, actually. It's actually surprisingly good, but unfortunately for the wrong piece. Because we are getting a Frost type damage bonus, it's kind of just ruined. If this was Spirit type damage bonus, that would have been an amazing piece to have. When I was reading it, I thought it was this one. So I thought maybe this would have actually been pretty decent on a character like Haname. Just to throw it out there, one quality life I would like to see in the future is for us to not even be able to roll Frost damage boost on a piece like this that is specifically designed for Spirit type characters. Because otherwise, this would actually been a really good piece if it was the Spirit type one. And then for this one, we have ultimate charge rate. That's pretty much about it. So no amazing pieces for today. But again, if you just want to build the character, just have something on them, you know, just by playing this quest a few times, especially once you unlock the guaranteed SSR drops, that can get your character briefly ready just to have something on them and do a decent amount of damage until you work on better pieces. But yeah, that's pretty much the video for today. Toshiro releases in less than 5 days' time, so now is a good time to prepare. Start stacking up on Spirit type resources and farm the Poison Crucible quest as much as you can to get good gear pieces for him, Rukia, and also eventually Aizen if he is going to be the inevitable Spirit type tactical unit. And with that in mind, you know, again, if you are potentially an Aizen fan, you do potentially want to have Toshiro as well. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Take care and peace.